Here I have my Asus G53SW-S computer. I bought this about a week ago and now I'm ready with my review. I'm sure you have already seen my demonstration of Crysis 2 running on this computer. If you don't have, I strongly suggest you do so. And what good way to start a review but with the system specifications. This computer here has an Intel Core i7-2630QM processor. This is the Sandy Bridge model. It has 2.0 GHz and it's capable of turbo boosting all the way up to 2.86 GHz. It has 4 GB of DDR3 memory, an nVidia GeForce GTX460M mobile graphics with 1.5 GB of memory. It has a 500 GB hard drive where 4 GB is hybrid solid state, so that it starts up extremely fast. It has a 15.6-inch glossy display with 1366 × 768 pixels. It has an 8-speed DVD-Supermulti, Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit and an 8-cell battery. On the connection side, this computer has 4 USB ports. 3 of them is 2.0 ports and 1 of them is a 3.0 port. Furthermore, it has HDMI, VGA video out, Gigabit Ethernet audio in and out, and it has a webcam, Bluetooth 2.0, BG&N Wi-Fi network, and it has a backlit keyboard. Furthermore, if we take a look here at the back of the computer, we have 2 fat exhausts here for the heat. And this one on the right is for the graphics and this one on the left is for the processor. And keep your hands away, they are going to get extremely hot. And if we take a look at the computer itself, is this computer any good? So if I just grab my yes hat and let's go through the things that I like about this computer. I think the keyboard here is fantastic. It takes a day or two to actually get used to it, but when you do, you really learn to love it. The touchpad is actually quite good too. The buttons are a little bit stiff and they're a little bit hard to push, but you get used to it, and besides you're going to use a mouse besides the computer most of the time anyway. The palm rest here is actually quite good too. It's really soft, it's not hard, and it's really nice to rest your hands on it when you're typing on the keyboard. Furthermore, this computer, even though it has 2 huge exhausts at the back, it is pretty quiet. I have measured this computer to around 35 decibels, so it is almost below the hearing level. And this computer, and now I'm going to sound ridiculous, it has an impressive battery lifetime of 3 hours. And it's not like 3 hours is super, but I think for a computer with this set of specifications, a quad-core processor, and 3 hours of battery lifetime, that's actually great. I have just taken this computer out of its charger and right now 3.5 hours doing basically nothing than running a few background applications. That's not bad for a computer at this kind. And of course, if you have seen my previous video with Crysis 2 demonstrated on this computer, it strikes a huge amount of power out. This is a strong computer. Furthermore, if you look at this little gadget that I have here, this is the hybrid engine for this computer, and that controls the battery saving systems on the computer and how much performance is allowed in the system. That's actually pretty neat, and I can very quickly tell it to go in super battery saving mode, and when I do, everything on the system is basically being turned off. It even changes my wallpaper to do basically nothing. So it goes in super battery saver mode, and that's fantastic. And just as quickly it is to get back, just hitting this little button there, goes in high performance, and now my computer is ready to play the latest games again. And that's how quick it is. And furthermore, these cooling things here at the back, I have been there a couple of times, but I actually think that is a piece of engineering. Because these fans, they don't really put out much sound in the daily work, and they actually keep the computer very silent, very cool, and when you flip up the screen, it actually shields from some of the noise, and you basically don't hear the computer. Only when your room is totally silent you will hear it. And the built-in speakers in this computer is actually strong enough to, shall we say, squelch the noise of the fans. And the first time you start this computer, it is loaded with bloatware, all these kind of demonstrations this and demonstrations that, but it takes less than 5 minutes the first time you hit the power button on this computer, and that's fantastic. Now, if we just take this yes hat and throw it in the trash can, what do I not like about this computer? And the first thing is actually the screen that this computer has. In daily, when you're just sitting and typing something in Word or during a presentation, it's actually a great screen, but when you're playing a game that's a little dark and things, it actually is pretty bad. The light could be a lot higher, the brightness could be better. There is a built-in microphone in this computer, but the microphone that's built into this computer is so close to useless that they just could have excluded it. As I said before, this computer comes loaded with tons of crapware that you will spend around about an hour to get rid of. It really takes some time, and there is a lot of it, and you don't know what to throw away and what to keep. They have really hidden some of it really good for you. And with this computer I have experienced a few software related issues, and by that of course I mean crashes. Put this computer in standby and bring it with you? No, that will result in a crash. I think making a manual installation of Windows the old-fashioned way, just by putting in a Windows disk and installing it all the way from scratch, could give a better system. I think some of the bloatware is causing these crashes, but I haven't tested that yet. If we take another thing with this computer, it is extremely heavy. This little thing weighs around 4 kilos. So it's not something that you bring in your backpack every day, because this thing really is heavy. And I really mean heavy. And furthermore, the first time you start this computer, you're also asked to burn some DVDs for the recovery of the system should it ever crash completely. And you have to have 5 empty DVDs laying around. I think at a computer at this price point they should be in the box. So that's things that I really don't like about this computer. But in general I think it is a good computer. It's capable of playing the latest games on full graphics, as I said a couple of times. I haven't really been playing a game on this that it can't run. It keeps quiet even when you're playing games for a long time, so the cooling really is efficient. And it can't play games on full strength without the charger. And here we don't really let things go without a little note, because I have the charger right here. Take a look at this one. It is large, heavy and bulky. And boy, is that really a problem to carry around. And the charger gets hot, so keep your fingers on that one. And of course, this computer actually was, by me, replaced for a desktop computer. I had a desktop system before, I do not have anymore, and most of the time I don't really even notice that I'm sitting by a notebook because it has this much power as it has. And well, of course, it is difficult to transport because of the weight, and it doesn't fit in most bags. You have to have a 17-inch bag to really carry this computer around with you. And as I said before, I think in general this is a good computer, and if you want something to replace your desktop or a notebook gaming computer, this is the computer for you. And I'm giving it 4 stars out of 6. And thank you very much for watching.